Hey, Scarefest. This is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. I'm trying out a new microphone, so you let me know how it sounds. This week, we are talking about a movie that's rated PG 13. It's a horror film that you can watch with not so small kiddies, but as they tend to grow up a little bit. It's based on a series of books that had art that scared the piss out of a lot of you. And the movie I'm talking about is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I know they'd been trying to get this a while, and actually, it's produced by Guillermo del Toro, and he wrote it as well. He's one of the writers, and it's directed by a guy that I absolutely just think's amazing. I'm going to completely butcher it. Andre overall, who directed a movie called Troll Hunter and another one that's fan freaking tastic called The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I highly recommend. I wanted to catch this last fall when it came out, didn't get a chance to. I read some of the books. In fact, one of the stories that I remember very vividly is in the movie. So, how do you take all these different stories and make a film out of it, but not make an anthology film? So, there's not a bunch of stories, but there are a bunch of stories. Well, you set it in 1968, and you have some friends, and they find this book, and the book is based on, it's got a lady and she's dead and she's still writing stories, and these stories come to life and attack these kids and folks around the town. Did I like it? I like that they set it in 1968. I like the atmosphere of it. I like the first 30 minutes of it. I don't think I have a problem with the ending. In fact, this is for Wes and the rest of you. I'm not complaining about the ending at all. It's just fairly forgettable, though. Do I recommend it? Sure. Yes, I do. It is not a bad movie at all. It's very well produced. In fact, I like the way it looked. I've watched a lot of low budget shit the last few weeks for you all, and I was happy to see someone who had spent a few dollars in a movie that looked polished and finished and smooth. Honestly, it looked like a Hollywood production. And that may be the reason why I don't find it scary, but a couple of the monsters, they may look scary in those famous pages or those famous books that you all read as children, that gave you nightmare fuel and made you the horrible person you are today who hangs around and watches Scarefest, hangs out with weirdos like me. To see them on the screen, not so much. I had a hard time getting into it a little bit. But I did enjoy the atmosphere. The acting is very good. There's just some groaners. There's some lines that I just couldn't get past. You don't read the book reads you. To my knowledge, it is not streaming on anything. However, you can get it at Redbox, you can find it on DVD and Blu-ray, and it is family friendly. It is not like the Autopsy of Jane Doe with a lot of cursing and nudity. It is family friendly, PG 13 horror. Check it out if you haven't seen it, especially if you're a fan of those short stories. But you have time and you want to show your family a family friendly PG horror film as we get closer to Halloween, and I'm going to do more as we get closer to Halloween, then I actually recommend The House with a Clock in Its Walls. It's a little more childlike, a little more kiddie-ish, but this one tries. It's pretty good. It's decent. I don't know. I have a hard time saying it's great, but I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed parts of it. Should you see it? Don't break your neck, but check it out. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Actually, if you're a fan of it, check out The Autopsy of Jane Doe and Troll Hunter. Those are both, I think Autopsy is on Amazon and Troll Hunter was on Netflix. So check those out. They even made a cartoon about Troll Hunter. It's a lot of fun. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week's Scarefest. Ooh, maybe I'll see you at that super secret. You know what I mean.